Welcome to the NFL Saturday Podcast. This is Amp.
And I'm Scotty.
And we're here to catch you up on fantasy football for the week. And we'll have some fun along the way. I noticed that there was one time when we actually did do it at the same time, but we set it like at different speeds. So we're going to, maybe we won't eventually hit it, but who knows? You never know. It could happen randomly.
That part is true. If we're on like a different tempo or a different volume, like that could mess it up too. But it's been close several times, so maybe one day.
Maybe one day. That is correct. Anyway, today we are going to do a daily fantasy head-to-head draft to celebrate the fantasy championship. I think it will be a good time to do it. But before we get into the episode, Scotty, are you ready for your fun fact of the day?
That's my favorite part. Let's hear a fun fact.
The highest scoring game of all time was in 1966, where Washington beat New York 72-41.
What in the world?
There were 113 total points, just so people at home don't have to do the math. And there were 16 touchdowns.
Jeez,
10 by Washington
Louise.
and 6 by New York. But do you want to know the funniest part of this whole game?
One individual player had 7 of the touchdowns.
No, but
Defensive?
Washington kicked a field goal with 7 seconds left in the game.
Oh yeah, you gotta make sure it's a 7-score game. You gotta really keep it close.
It's a classic rivalry, I guess, so they really wanted to blow them out.
That's actually hilarious.
I actually forgot that I had this other fun fact, which is probably funnier because the game was played before they had nets behind the goalpost, which caused 14 balls to be lost during the game.
Because like if they kicked an extra point and the fans don't give it back.
13 of them were from extra points, and then one of them was from a TD celebration. The guy threw it into the stands.
What? How do you? They lost 14 balls and still had enough to keep going. That's
yeah. I'm surprised they had enough.
Yeah, that seems like a lot. I wonder how many. I'll look it up later. How many balls they prepare for a modern game?
That's a good one. Maybe that can be a fun fact for next week. We'll see.
Yeah, just don't let Tom Brady get his hands on him.
Yeah, we don't want any deflated ones. So
correct. The
only thing we deflated. Can now. Anything deflated? Yeah. No, go ahead.
No.
No. The joke was dead by that point. All right.
I was going to make fun of Dallas Cowboys playoff hopes, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. So, I guess we can get into the episode though.
Let's rock and roll.
Have you looked at our betting challenge recently, Scotty?
I have. But it's not my place to bring it up. So you want to go ahead?
Okay. Well, I will just say you are 120K up, and essentially you have 3 times the amount I have because I have like 60K. So yeah, you're on a tear. You want to describe anything about your tear and how good you've been doing?
I don't know if I'm doing anything different. I feel like I'm locked in. I think I won like 6 of 8 recently, and I've been going a little bit on the safer side. Like the most my bets are paying are like 2 times or 3 times. So none of those like crazy long shots like I was going for before. So
that's what I'm doing.
So I feel like that's what I've always been trying to do. Maybe there's no explaining it. Maybe I just got a little bit good luck recently.
I don't know. I think you're definitely good at some of the predictions, like the props. I think you're pretty dang good at. So I think it definitely is in the long run when you do like stay consistent at the small things. I think it does help you over the long run. So yeah, exciting to see you go, but you never know because we have the $1 million bet, so I can come back at any point.
You do always have the $1 million bet. I definitely don't want to have to sing an obnoxious song on TikTok but if I have to, I will.
Yep. Anyway, it's time for your
Mr. Unlimited
moment of the week.
Oh, Jesus. What did he do this week?
Well, Russell Wilson didn't have a good game. But
No, he did not.
But even more embarrassing was something that happened on the Nickelodeon broadcast.
Oh, Jesus. Is that the same thing as like the Dude Perfect game where they like Nickelodeon covers the game or something?
Yeah, I think they had it last year as well. I remember seeing something in the playoffs. It was like they had a slime zone every time they would get a touchdown, and they would like spray slime on the field, like a CG version of slime. So it was it was interesting. I watched like a couple of the clips because I was curious how it like looked, and I don't know, it's obviously aimed for kids, and like they're talking down. And one of the things that was aimed for kids was they had Patrick Starr on as an analyst, and essentially he was kind of like being dumb. He would be like, and if the player's offsides, then that means like that kind of describing the rules.
Right. Like an airhead.
Intentionally, trying to, because obviously he's Patrick, so he's trying to play up for the kids and also kind of describe the rules. But while he was on as an analyst, it happened to be right when Russell Wilson threw a pick. So Russell Wilson threw a pick, and then as the defender was returning it, Patrick Starr wittingly responded, "I don't think that's what he wanted to cook." And it was pretty hilarious. It was one of those moments where it kind of just sums up the whole season for Russell. Yeah, exactly. Sums up the whole season.
He freaking got roasted by Patrick Starr.
Yep. It's a new low.
That guy can't do anything right. That's almost as funny as that fake Nathaniel Hackett tweet when he said, "What was I supposed to do coaching a guy who has more bathrooms in his house than touchdown passes?"
yeah, that one. I saw that one.
That wasn't real, but
pretty funny.
That's something we covered earlier in the year when we joked about, because he has such a big house.
Yeah, he has so many bathrooms in his house.
Oh, poor guy.
Anyway, we have an exciting segment, and that is story time.
Oh,
but
interesting.
It is not my story time. It is actually Scotty's, because Scotty is in the fantasy football championship in our league. Congratulations.
Ooh, thank you.
So I actually went online and actually am delivering you a ring right now. It's already on the way to your house. So it says Fantasy Football Championship 2020.
All right, the episode's over now, folks. We'll see you next week. I'm not even gonna let you finish that sentence.
No, I'm kidding. I was thinking of doing it actually. I was gonna do it for your opponent to try to jinx him. But I was like, that's just too much.
Instead, thanks.
No, because both his opponent is also one of my friends from college, so it's one of those things where it's head-to-head friend showdown. But hey, my friend doesn't listen to the podcast, so I'm rooting for you, Scotty. Let's go. Take home the championship for the podcast, all right?
I think that's IRList.
Yeah.
It's like racist, maybe. But you root for the people you've actually met in real life. Instead of the people that are just video game personalities.
Hey, no, I'm actually rooting for you. You have had some good luck, but I'm excited to see how it goes. It is a 2 QB
had
league,
some good luck.
So he has no QBs essentially. So it's
if I were to lose this final versus a guy with an automatic 0 in his lineup because he didn't have any backup quarterbacks on his bench, that would be basically how all my other seasons have gone. Just even more embarrassing to lose it in the finals, because the past couple of years I've been getting my booty whooped. So I feel like I need this one.
This could be your year. And he was the champion last year too. So he's already had his champs.
I could spoil the back-to-back.
Exactly. It's your destiny, all right? We'll just say that.
No, my destiny works at the strip club.
Okay, well, before we jinx it anymore or go down that road, I guess we can get into the main topic, which is going to be the Daily Fantasy Showdown. This is something I've been wanting to do for a little while, but I thought it was something we could wait for until like a moment like this, because I think this is an exciting time where it's like the fantasy championship, and we kind of want to talk about the players that we like and the matchups that we like. So I think this is a good opportunity to talk about that, because we're going to have those players in our daily fantasy lineups. So I think it will be fun. Yeah.
You said all the right things, brother. I like this idea when you gave it to me.
Awesome.
It helped me. It helped me pick a more reasonable team, since I have to talk about it. I can't just like pick nonsense.
Fair. I guess first off, before we start in the main lineups, did you have anyone on Thursday in your lineup? Because you might have already picked.
I didn't make my lineup until I think yesterday. After the
neither
game.
did I.
I didn't like anything about Thursday Night Football, and I knew I wasn't picking any of those players. So I mean, the only player who I thought was pickable is Zeke, because he was on like an 8-game touchdown streak, which he continued. I correctly predicted that he would need a touchdown to even have a decent score, which I think he finished with like 9.5 points, and you get 6 for a touchdown. So I got that one right.
Yeah, no, good call. And I guess the only
CD
player
did
that
right.
Yeah, CD did well because he had like 11 catches or something.
Jesus.
But in our daily showdown, it is half PPR because it's on Yahoo. So they do half PPR, so it's not the full PPR. So like that performance wouldn't have been good because you don't get a bonus for 100 yards either. So
he just would have had 15.5 points.
Yeah, exactly. I think like maybe a little more than that, but yeah, exactly. He wouldn't have had that much at all. So I guess now that we've gone over the rules, I'll start off with quarterback, I guess, because my quarterback is the one and only Josh Allen. I am going spending high. He plays Cincinnati, and I think it's going to be an insane high-scoring shootout on Monday night, and that's what I'm picking. I think this is going to be the game winner for me. This is going to clinch it.
Interesting. Because I think the Bengals only give up like a little over 200 passing yards per game.
Oh, yes. I think this is going to start off as one of those low-scoring games in the first 3 quarters, and then in the fourth quarter, each quarterback is going to get 3 touchdowns or something like that.
Okay.
That's what I'm
not worried
thinking.
about those turnovers.
Nope, not at all. And hey, if they turn the ball over, they're just going to have to throw more and get more yards. So that's what I'm feeling.
If that's what you're feeling.
But I guess who is your?
I don't mind it because Josh Allen is
your quarterback?
potential
Yeah.
MVP.
Who do you have to rival me though? Did you go high or did you go low price?
I went medium. You've been hyping up Detroit so much.
Ooh.
That I said, you know what? Let's put Jared Goff in there.
Oh.
And let's back the playoff run versus an injured Chicago team. Could potentially be high scoring since Detroit still has one of the worst defenses statistically. So they're going to be playing potentially from behind if Chicago can find a way to score, which I don't think. Now that I'm thinking about it, it'll probably be a blowout, and then they just run the ball. But I'm keeping Goff anyway.
You know what? I like it. They need to win. So even if they get ahead a little bit, they're probably still going to just pedal to the metal. I like it. I like the pick. Nice.
Okay.
I definitely considered Goff, so good pick. But I have some spicy running back picks. So
I think a singular spicy running back pick.
Oh, a singular spicy one.
The other one's obvious.
Fair. Well, my first spicy one is Tyler Algier.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Is that yours too? Do you have him as well? He has been on fire recently. I guess this is a wash because we both have him. But if you are playing in a fantasy championship and you have him on your team, I would recommend probably starting him. Has a great matchup and he's been on fire. And I'm just loving Tyler Algier.
I like the matchup as well. They're starting like their third string quarterback again.
Yeah.
Did it really poorly last week, so Atlanta might be able to go up early and then just run downhill to end the game. And Algier's been doing pretty well.
Exactly. No, I feel the same way.
Obviously, I like that pick from you.
Yeah. I guess since we have the same pick, do you want to go over your second running back?
Ooh, I can do that. Because this is somebody I would consider one of the 3 people on my team who carried me to the championship game that I'm in this weekend. Ex-Carolina Panther, current San Francisco 49ers, yours truly, Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh, okay. This is a good pick, and I'm a little scared about this one because I do not have Christian McCaffrey.
No Derek Carr, potentially no Devontae Adams, if he decides he wants to support his boy and ride the pine pony. I'm still hoping for that good news. I think San Francisco has the potential to go up comfortably and then just run the ball down their throats, and McCaffrey will stay in for a good portion of that. That could just be wishful thinking, but please let that happen.
No, I think it's a solid pick. I think it definitely, like you said, has that risk of if they get up too much, then they might, just bench him or something, or just rest him. But I think he'll get a lot of points early. So I think it's a safe floor. Like a 20-point floor is.
Oh, geez, I hope so. Because he scared me last week. He had like 7 points until he got like a late touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was like super nervous. Yeah.
Awesome.
Who's your second pick? Is it spicy? You said it's spicy.
My second pick is spicy, and it's cheaper than Tyler Algier. And that is...
Cheaper than Algier. Interesting.
Leonard Fournette.
Ooh.
Who is in a must-win game because they obviously need to beat the Panthers to win the division, and they clinch the playoffs if they win this game. So I think Brady will rely on Leonard Fournette, throw to him a lot, have him in the game blocking because they don't necessarily want to put the rookie in when it's the most important game. And on top of all that, Leonard Fournette is only $14. So on Yahoo,
yeah, he had 20 points last week.
Yeah, and he's been doing well. I think it's kind of been overshadowed somewhat by Rachaad White. So I think he still has that upside though, especially when the games matter. It seems like he's in there.
Great pick. I like that a lot. He's super cheap.
You. Yeah,
the cheapest you can go is
$10.
Is $10. Yeah. So 14 is a bargain for sure.
Yeah, and you get $150. I think, is that correct? I don't remember.
Where's it? 200?
Something like that. I don't know.
I could do the math, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I could do the math too. But yeah, I mean, 14 is definitely like one of the very cheap players, and I was surprised he was that cheap. So that's essentially why I had to pick him.
I just did the math. It's 200.
200? Okay. So you have 200. So yeah, 14 is very cheap. Like for example, Josh Allen is 37. So definitely spent
huge difference there. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I spent up on a couple players, but Leonard Fournette helped me do that. So, and Tyler Algier was 20. So that's what's kind of crazy. But yeah,
that is weird. Like, yeah, but
not sure how that happened.
That's a good point.
Anyway, I guess you, Scotty, do you want to take us into wide receivers? Tell us your first superstar or not superstar. Wide receiver.
I'm gonna go with my first cheapie, and it's debatable because the past couple weeks the most he's gotten is 12 points.
Okay.
But Mike White is back, and Mike White seems to love a little Garrett Wilson.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping with their chance to still make the playoffs, Mike White being back, I think those two are going to be locked in. Seattle has a couple banged up players, so it could be a close competitive game. I'm just crossing my fingers. There's not a lot of facts backing this one up, but I have hope.
Yeah, no, I actually really like this pick because I've been on the Garrett Wilson hype train for a while, and with Mike White, he's definitely been a lot better. So I really like this pick, and yeah, I wish I had him on my team, but
Ooh,
I don't.
You could switch it right now.
I could, however, I won't because my first wide receiver is Justin Jefferson.
Gotta go with the Jettas.
Jefferson, gotta go with him.
He's on that record-breaking pace. You want to have him when he does it.
Yeah, and it's a rival game versus Green Bay. They need to win this. They also want to knock Green Bay out. And on top of that, have you seen the trash talk that the Jair Alexander said in an interview?
Yeah, he said after week 1 it was like a fluke game or something.
Yeah, and
They
for
couldn't do
reference,
it
he had
again.
178 yards and 2 touchdowns. So
Right,
that is
and
a fluke
9
game.
or 10 catches or something. Yeah. But he's been doing that all freaking year. The dude's a machine.
Yeah, Jefferson's just so good, and I don't even know if he needs this to fuel him, but I think he's gonna just go off, and that's why I have him on my team. I spent up. This is my star player. I wanted him on my team, so I put him there and made it work.
Solid analysis. Let me ask you a slightly unrelated / related question.
Yes, go ahead.
If, let's say, Justin Jefferson gets 150 yards this week, so he's 50, 60 yards away from the record.
Ooh.
But in week 18 they have nothing to play for. They can't Eagles win this week, so they can't get the bye. They already have the
they're
number
gonna
2
give it
seed.
to him. They're
Do
gonna
you
try.
think they risk him getting hurt to chase a frivolous record instead of potentially resting for a Super Bowl run?
I think so. And I know he'll definitely want to, just because
Obviously, yeah.
the record is so important for someone's legacy too, that really determines if he'll go in the Hall of Fame later on, so
Yeah, and his MVP season potentially.
yeah,
A lot of people are coming out of the woodwork lately saying that what he's doing right now can't be overlooked, especially since he's doing it with Kurt.
Yeah. And I'm not as worried about, I guess, the MVP. I don't think he'll get there, but Offensive Player of the Year he should definitely get.
Probably, yeah.
They just always give it to quarterbacks now. It's annoying.
Fair point.
But
Anyway.
I agree though. I think
You
he
agreed with me, yeah.
Yeah, they'll probably put him out there, but I don't really know. It's so hard to know.
Maybe every other drive or something.
Yeah, and there's also argument not to rest your players anyway. So, just to not get them rusty. So
Yeah, it's valid. That's valid.
that's kind of what I'm thinking. But who knows? We'll see. Do you have a spicy wide receiver pick for me, or do you have a superstar?
It is not spicy, I don't think. But it's also not a superstar. It's just one of those middling players that you chuck in there just to try to save a little bit of money.
I think that's fair.
I threw in Amari Cooper.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Even though I was hesitant to throw in a player where the team has no playoff aspirations.
Yeah.
Maybe they care enough to try to play spoiler. But like I said, he was just kind of a filler. He's been doing
shocked about
decent.
this one.
I know. He's been definitely doing below average for the past 5 weeks. So maybe I was just thinking law of averages. He'll snap out of it and have a good week. I don't know.
I will ask you, what happened about 5 weeks ago? Was there a mysterious someone who came out of the massage parlor and into the starting quarterback position?
There has been a particular reason about his lack of production. There's no denying it. I'm hoping I'm hoping that he's relieved his stress,
Oh my gosh.
massaged out those knots, and he's feeling better.
Hopefully he massaged himself. But anyway,
Jesus.
I guess we can move on. I'm not a huge fan of the pick, but Amari Cooper
I'm not
does
either,
always have
but-
those huge games. So, and you did say he is a filler. So, yeah. Well, I also have a filler pick, Scotty.
Ooh, let's
But I
hear
like
it.
my filler because my filler is Alan Lazard
Ooh,
on the Green Bay
potentially
Packers. I already have
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson.
Uh-huh.
And like you said, I think you were about to say potentially no Watson. Is that correct?
Correct. That is exactly what I was going to say. He looks like he's trending towards out, so that's a great pick.
Yeah. And so it's a rivalry game, great matchup. But the best part is he's only $15. He is
Yeah, that
incredibly
is
cheap.
huge.
So I had to stick him in my lineup to get that Lazard Jefferson competition. If it is going to be high scoring, gotta rack up those yards. They're going back and forth.
Is the Lazard Jefferson matchup similar to the Jefferson versus Rieger matchup?
Oh, very much so. Rhaegar is just so good. That was such a good trade for Minnesota to trade for.
Oh, Jesus Louises.
Oh my! I'm still mad. I can't. No, don't even get me started on this. So go into
All right,
your
I
third
won't.
wide receiver.
Before we go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, before we go down the rabbit hole.
All right, this is another player who I've had a lot of faith and consistency in over the year. We're headed to Philly,
Ooh,
but I went with the guy on my team that I
nice.
have come to love, Mr. Devontae Smith.
I love it. I love it.
I could tell a mini story time that as I left for work last week at halftime, he had like one catch for whatever yards, and so did the rest of my team. And I was like, you know what? I lost. I'm not even going to watch the games or check the scores. I'm just going to drive into work and not care. By the time I got to work, he had like 7 catches for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. I was like, what the hell happened? In my 50-minute ride to work, what in the world happened? So I'm hoping he just does it again. Come on, boy.
Yeah,
You got to get that bye.
Look, I obviously am an Eagles fan, but you may not know that I only have 2 players' jerseys on the team. One is Fletcher Cox, who I got a little while ago. Fletcher Cox.
Because his name is Cox.
No, but also he's a beast. Partially. We'll say partially. But also I have Devontae Smith. That's my other jersey. Because I was so triggered from getting all these quarterback Eagles jerseys that I never got Hurts' jersey. So instead, I was like, let me draft a Heisman wide receiver. He was probably going to be Hall of Fame. So I was like, let me get this amazing wide receiver. And I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this pick. Minshew.
Okay.
Minshew seems to target him. I don't know if you saw the game, but Minshew definitely is going to Smith before Brown right now. That could change, but
Fingers crossed.
fingers crossed. No, I like it. Good pick.
Yeah.
That said, I don't know if I could have afforded him because I spent up
He's
on my next wide
$23.
receiver. Yeah, and my next wide receiver was $30 because
Stephon Diggs.
I needed in that game. I have Josh Allen, so I went with Jamar Chase. I'm going on the opposite side. I baited you because I went with Jamar Chase. I need those long touchdowns. All the Cincy receivers are back. Joe Burrow is hot. And I think Jamar Chase is going to get open because they have to guard Higgins. They have to guard Boyd. So Chase is just going to sneak his way in the back, get a couple touchdowns. That's what I'm counting on. I love it. I love Jamar Chase this week.
Okay. Are you feeling like a four catches for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns sort of situation?
Like a Devontae Smith kind of game. That's what I'm feeling.
We did cover that you felt like that could be a back and forth fireworks show. So obviously Jamar Chase gets on the end of a lot of that. That's exciting.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm scared of that pick. Dang, you spent a lot of money on a couple players. Man.
I did, yeah.
Nice.
There's one pick that is in there that when you see it, you'll be like, "Oh, that's where he saved money." So,
do you have somebody in there worth 10?
Yeah, you'll see. You'll recognize them for sure.
Chigoziem Nkanku.
I don't even think he's that cheap anymore. I think he's expensive, but he already played, so.
Where did you save your money? The flex position?
You'll see. It'll surprise you. I'll keep it on your toes. So I guess Kadon. maybe that will be my next pick. But who is your next pick, Scotty? Unless you want me.
I can go. We're on the tight end, correct?
We are on the tight end now.
All right. As you know,
spicy one.
As you know, it is. I had to get Jared Goff in there.
Yeah.
At quarterback. Ooh. We explained that one.
Hold up.
So, if I went with Goff, I have to go with Jared Goff's favorite tight end, TJ Hawkinson. I had to do it. Oh, wait. He's in Minnesota now.
I thought you were going to pick up, like, the actual Detroit tight end that I've never heard of.
No, forget that. TJ Hawkinson, man.
That's really funny. Okay.
The dude had 30 points last week. I'm hoping that that as Jefferson is on his way to the record, this man, he had freaking 16 targets last week. Are you yawning? That's contagious.
I did, yeah. I yawned and laughed. I was like trying to hold it back. I couldn't. My laugh like made me not be able to hold back the yawn.
I heard it.
I blame you.
It trickled through in the laugh. I was like, wait, I think he's yawning.
That's funny.
No, I like T.J. Hawkinson, man. He started off hot in Minnesota, and then the last week he, sort of got back into that like that streaming. Damn, I can't think of the word. Moving on. I hope he does well. Solid analysis. Couldn't think of the damn word.
My mom had TJ Hawkinson in her playoff matchup and somehow lost because her opponent's players did that well. It was pretty brutal. She almost came back, and then there's a couple players that I won't mention by name, but they went off after. So it was a sad day, but yeah. But hopefully he does well again. That's what I'm hoping for. So
yeah, nice she pick. Can still get third.
Pick. I did go in a more budget route though. And
this is where you saved your money.
This is not the most I've saved my money, but I did save some money with Dawson Knox to stack with Josh Allen. He has been doing well recently.
Really interesting.
Not a great matchup, but not a bad matchup, just average. And that's how I'm stacking. That's who I'm stacking with Josh Allen. Do I have a double stack? I might. We'll see it later. But I have Dawson Knox because I expect Josh Allen to probably target him a couple times, That's what I'm expecting.
At least. No, yeah. That's a good pick, and he's super on the cheaper side. So
yeah, he was 16, so I had to save some money. Yeah.
He is holding that questionable tag, but I think he's one of those guys that's like questionable every week, right? But then he just plays anyway.
Yeah, and it's Monday. I'm not as worried. The reports are that he was limited, but he's a good bet to suit up, and I took that bet because if he doesn't play, I don't even know what to do. Do I have to pick Hayden Hurst, I guess? I don't know how that works.
You'd have to switch to whoever the tight end and hope he's cheaper than $16, which Hayden Hurst surely would be.
Yeah, right? He surely would be, right?
He's probably one of those guys that's worth like $10 for sure.
He's 11.
Can't even look right now.
Yeah, I guess I will declare right now, if Knox does not play, I will swap to Hayden Hurst. There we go.
Yeah, Hayden Hurst is 11, so.
All right.
Ex-Baltimore Raven got traded because we had Mark Andrews.
Yeah, he used to be good. And then he got traded to Atlanta, right? I think. I don't remember.
He's definitely bounced around. I know he didn't just go straight to Cincinnati. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Who is your spicy flex pick? I'm sure you have an expensive player.
How did you know my flex picks was spicy?
I just a hunch.
He's not expensive, but
Oh.
he's my fantasy MVP.
Oh, okay.
That means you know who it is, right?
I think so. Well, no, it's because there's a couple. It could be.
Jerick
is it?
McKinnon.
Oh, okay. I like it.
17 $17. He had a bit of a dud last week, but his dud was still 11 points, which for a flex I feel like is decent.
Yeah.
They still have to play to win and hope that Cincinnati beats Buffalo so that they jump into the number 1 seed headed into the final week. I mean, they still want to get the number 2 seed, I suppose, to get those easy matchups in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You always want to play that 7th seed, which is looking like it's going to be in the AFC. Actually, who is the 7th seed?
Is it?
It would be
the
Miami
Jets?
if they sneak
the
in.
Dolphins still. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it would be. It would be the Dolphins still, but it could also be the Patriots or the Jets or the Steelers.
Yeah, interesting, exciting.
No, I just like him. He's done really well since he's come back. Patrick Mahomes clearly loves him. He's catching like 5-6 passes a game. Last week was a anomaly, I'll say, and I hope he doesn't do it again.
Yeah, no, I mean, and last time they played Denver, he did really well. So I think the pick is good.
Fingers crossed.
But I don't think it's as good as my flex pick because my flex pick has been on fire recently. He could be the fantasy MVP, and that is Cam Akers, who I apologize. I apologize to Cam Akers directly for giving him the one of the Cole Award nominations. But I have to put him in my lineup because he's been so good. And the matchup is good. They're playing the Chargers. It's a good matchup.
Uh-huh.
The Chargers are playing to win, but Cam Akers is also playing because he is playing for a contract alongside Baker Mayfield. Both of them are playing to get back on a team, so they're going to be trying hard. Sean McVay is very competitive. He's still trying. That's what's been happening the last couple weeks. And I am confident that Cam Akers is going to have a good game.
Do you think he'll have another 100-yard, 3-touchdown game, though?
I do not, but he could. He could.
I guess if he just gets like half of that, then you're still super excited.
Yeah, so I would be happy with 15 points. But I'm hoping for at least 20. That's what I'm hoping for. Because that would be huge for me, you know? I will say he's my most expensive running back, which is pretty crazy. I guess we only have one position left, Scotty.
Ooh, we have to talk about our defense.
We have to talk about our defense. Who do you have? This is something we don't talk about normally. So I guess we can talk.
I'm going to ask you a question. It's sort of like do you put the cereal in the bowl first or do you put the milk in the bowl first sort of situation?
Okay.
Do you look at the defenses first and sort of like pick like a cheap one that you like so that you can build your team around it? Or do you build your team first and then just pick a defense with whatever money you have left and just hope that there's a good one at that price point?
Once I have like 3 players left to pick, that's when I'll look at the defenses. Because then I'll know kind of what I'm looking for. Yeah.
I got you.
I do care about it, but I don't build the team around the defense. Like I put it in the middle. So I got you. I put some milk in, put some cereal in, put some more milk
and then put some more milk on top. Because I'm typically a defense first kind of guy. Because I don't want to build my team, be like super excited about it, then realize I only have $13 left and I need to go with like the Green Bay Packers defense, and I'm like, well, now I got to edit my lineup to make more room for this defense that I think is. So I typically target it first and then build my team with the remaining. But maybe that's why I lose and you're losing all the time. Essentially,
what I did was I had 2 in this lineup. Like I liked the rest of the lineup essentially, so I had 2 my flex and my defense left. So essentially, my defense allowed me to get Cam Akers. So it was one of those things where I was like, depending on the price, will be who is in my flex, so I have more flexibility.
I got you. No, I like it. It's a solid
Before
idea.
we do my spicy defense, I do want to hear yours because I'm going to shock you with mine.
All right, we'll just blaze through mine because there's no particular thought process. I went with the Jags because Houston sucks.
Oh, okay, that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Well, I will say this has turned into a very interesting evening because I went with the Houston defense.
What in the world?
With they're the cheapest defense with $10. They're playing the Jags, who may rest their starters at some point in the game.
At some point in the game, yes, but they've. I don't know if they're just like trying to throw off the game plan of Houston by lying about who's playing, but they've been adamant all week that no matter how meaningless the game is, they will not bench anybody.
They have said that
multiple times. Like they're not backing down. Like every day someone will ask them, and every day they give the same answer. There's no meaningless game. We're not benching anybody. But why? The game literally means nothing. It's like a preseason game.
I will say, though, that even if Jacksonville does play all their players, Houston Texans last week, 11 fantasy points against Tennessee. Week before that, 5 points against Kansas City. 7 points against Dallas. 8 points against Cleveland. All right, we're starting to go off track. But those last 3...
You're not really getting me excited about your pick here.
It is a $10 pick that allowed me to fill out the rest of my lineup. And
that's a solid point.
If Jacksonville does bench their players, I will feel very happy with this pick. So it's like
you feel like a genius,
pick, but it's also a safe floor. I think I'm hoping for at least 5 points. That's what I'm hoping for because I don't need this defense doesn't need to get a ton for me. But if it gets me a couple points, I'll be happy. And then if Jacksonville starters rest, then I'm even happier.
Yeah, you'd feel really smart about that one for sure. That's exciting.
Yeah, and now our defenses are head-to-head, so this is going to be an exciting one. I hope it comes down to the defenses.
All right, let's switch to Buffalo and Cincinnati defense, so it comes down to Monday Night Football.
That would be funny.
That would be funny.
Even though that would be bad for my lineup because I have so many players in the game.
Oh, true. You have a ton of... Yeah, you're right. You have Allen, and you have Jamar, and Dawson.
And Dawson, yeah. I got 3 players on Monday. So we won't even know the result unless I'm like way ahead, which I don't think I will be.
For those who don't know, we did a freebie where we made a team every week with our friend group, and of course you're in first in that. So.
Yeah, but you're in second, and you're coming back up. You got 170 points last week. Which is,
if only there was like 5 more weeks for me to catch up.
True.
Not enough time, unfortunately.
Fair. Awesome. Well, that was a fun segment. I like that. We'll probably do that again at some point. I don't know when.
I did like that. Not this year because there's not going to be any fantasy next week.
Yeah, true.
With all the people being benched and whatnot.
Yeah, fair. Awesome. Well, I guess we can do Ask Anissa, where I ask my wife, Anissa, a fantasy football question, and she knows nothing about football. So, Anissa, which player do you think will score more points? Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, or Stephon Diggs?
T. Higgins for sure.
T. Higgins? Yeah, all right. Lock it in. T. Higgins. Now let's play What's Your Prop?
I kept expecting you to be done and you just kept going. That was awesome. Good job. That caught me way off guard.
It was like an announcer's, like I was gonna goal, like when you just
keep going
forever. You just keep going.
That was awesome. Jeez.
Where we pick 3 prop bets for the other person who will pick a side. We'll keep track of our records and then be publicly punished on the show at the end of the year. And I should say I will be publicly punished on the show at this point. Because last week Scotty went 2-1 and I went 1-2. So Scotty,
extending the lead.
You're 21-12 and I am 14-19. So I officially
All
lost.
right.
I can't.
Looks like we should extend this through the playoffs so you can have a chance to come back.
Hey, I'm down for that, and it will be fun.
I'm
and I'll still
I'm
lose.
officially offering that.
Okay, let's do it. We'll do it.
I got to give you a chance.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, you've been killing it. You've been crushing me. You're our 7 up now. So I guess I'll give you the honor of going first because I think you deserve it. So.
All right. My first brain buster of the week. You previously alluded to the fact that you believe Mayfield is playing for a contract. He's trying to show off the couple weeks he has in the Rams to try to get money somewhere else.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, on that path to a contract, will Mayfield throw an interception? Over under 0.5 interceptions.
We'll have to go over on that one.
Knew it.
Yep. I played right into your trap. This is like the Vegas bet of setting the line at like 0 touchdowns for Herbert or whatever, and then it hits for the first time.
Oh, when he was on his streak of like 28, and they were like, "Oh, we'll boost the odds this week for him to throw a touchdown."
Yeah.
And then he didn't. That was the first week that he didn't. They just perfectly predicted it.
Exactly.
Crazy.
Well,
All right.
I have a pick in the same game because I have Joshua
Hand me
Kelly,
first. Ooh,
8.5 touches.
8.5 touches.
What do you think? You think he'll hit the over? You think they'll rest Austin Eckler a little during championship week when Austin Eckler is a fantasy football player himself? What do you think?
I think they can still improve. No, they can't because they can't catch the Ravens. I don't think they can improve their seed.
They can.
I think they're pretty much.
Well, they essentially
If they went out.
They can't. They need things to happen for them to improve.
But they could get to the 5th seed.
Yeah, they could also drop if they lose and other things happen. Like it's like a rare. In both situations, it's rare, but there is a chance.
That makes me choose the under. Under 8.5 touches.
Under 8.5 touches for Joshua Kelly.
All right. That's it. Under. Slam dunk it.
Nice. What is your second pick for me? You said it would be easy. Let's see if it actually is.
It is super easy. And I don't know why I offered you the extension through the playoffs after giving you a guaranteed 3-0. But here we go.
You said that last week.
Desmond Ridder.
Oh.
Over under 14.5 completions.
Completions? Oh gosh.
We previously alluded to the fact that we think Algier could be a staple in this game. But 15 passes, that's not a lot.
Oh no, that's a lot for him.
15 completed passes, that's nothing.
I don't know. I think that is a lot for him. I think I'm gonna have to go under. I think I'm gonna have to go under. 14.5 completions. I'm going under.
Yeah.
I think I'm going under.
Oh my goodness.
I think
That's
I'm
a
going
plot
under.
twist, folks.
I know.
I'm blowing my mind. I should have gone lower. What if I made it 10.5?
10 would have been hard, but I think I would have had to go over. It was a close, but I'm going under for, what was it, 14.5?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I am very surprised by this.
I'm shocked you.
Oh I'm baffled. What did he do last week? I didn't even look. I just know he sucks.
Yeah. I know he got...
Oh, he had 22 out of 33. He went 22 for 33 versus the Ravens.
Oh, well, I'm still
change your answer?
picking under. Nope, because they're going to be running. They're going to run.
Oh, but then he only had 13 versus the Saints. 13 out of 26. So, okay. Interesting.
And I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with the under.
Okay. All right. That'd be funny if I accidentally just picked like the perfect line, like he completed 14 passes.
That would be really funny. If you were trying to have me pick the over too.
What is your second pick for me?
My second pick is Isaiah Hodgins of the New York Giants over under 3.5 receptions.
I expect Richie James to shine in this game, which means there won't be 3.5 receptions for this player that you just made up. Under
Isaiah Hodgins 3.5 receptions. All right.
Correct.
Is your sword to die on. All right. What is your last pick for me?
All right. This one is the obvious, easy. I'm just going to lock it in for you. You're taking the over. You have no say in the matter. I'm doing it for you. Mahomes, over or under 0.5 passing touchdowns.
Okay. You're trolling. Okay, I'll take the over.
There you go. Congratulations. You went 2-1. I don't know which one you're going to get wrong, but you're going to get one of those other ones wrong.
Yeah, you're going to beat me somehow, too.
What's your last one for me?
My last one for you. I actually had to lower it last minute because of some news about their quarterback. And that is Greg Dortch over under 3.5 receptions.
Oh my goodness. I don't even like thinking about that team. My goodness. Who are they playing? Kansas City, right?
No.
That's Atlanta. They're playing Atlanta. They're playing
Atlanta.
Man. And it's going to be Trace McSorley, I assume.
It is, yes. Trace McSorley.
Oh, God, he was so bad last week. He was good in Baltimore the couple times that they needed him, but he never did good anywhere else.
Yeah. But it does not matter if Greg Dortch gets 4 catches for you. So, do you think he'll get over or under 3.5 receptions?
Everything in my body is telling me to go under, so I'm going to take the over.
Fair enough. So, you're going to go 3-0 now? Because
I mean,
of course
I'll
you
take
are.
it. I'll hope that happens.
Well, because if I do go 3-0, you have to go 3-0 as well. So, that's just how it works in this world.
You haven't beat me in a while.
Yep, not since whenever we started. I don't remember what week we started. It was like weeks 5 or 6.
Oh, Jesus.
Awesome, though. I like it. We had some good picks there. I did want to quickly talk about some of the matchups. So
yes, let's do it, because I'm excited about a couple games this week as well.
You are? Nice. Yeah, me too. I guess the first one I wanted to talk about was Chicago-Detroit. I actually do think this will be high scoring, because Chicago does seem like they'll just, I don't know, put Justin Fields out there and see what he does. So, and Detroit obviously needs to win, so I think they're going to definitely have a high-scoring game. What do you think? Do you think this will be high-scoring or just a blowout?
Can it be both? Can Detroit score 50 points like the Rams did a couple weeks ago?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it can.
I think that you nailed it on the head. I don't think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a high-scoring game where Detroit gets the majority of the points, and maybe Chicago can get like 2 or 3 touchdowns to boost the score. I personally think Detroit walks all over them just because of what they're playing for.
Yeah.
But I do agree that it could be a high-scoring game. So it'll be fun. If you got fantasy players come out of this game, I think you have a lot to be excited for.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I agree. Ooh. Yeah. That's kind of it. Not too much.
It's a 1 o'clock game, so you have to wake up early to watch it.
Yeah. It'll be a fun game in the afternoon because, I don't know, all those... I feel like there's only a couple games in those times, so, yeah. Definitely liking that.
For sure.
What is, I guess, one of your matchups you wanted to talk about, so I don't step on your toes?
I don't think it'll be an exciting fantasy game, but I think it can be an exciting football game because the Baltimore-Pittsburgh rivalry, which is always known to be scrappy, and ugly and physical, and it just seems to like each team you'd think like has like a certain like personality, like how they play and the way they do things.
Yeah.
And those two teams, when they play each other, it would seem like all of that goes out the window.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I'm just excited to watch like a really ugly, scrappy Sunday night football game where the Ravens, as a long shot as it might be, are still competing to win the AFC North. So they do have to win this game. Pittsburgh is fighting for Tomlin
to win,
keep his streak
to get
of
the playoffs.
They could still make the playoffs, and Mike Tomlin as a head coach, as me and you have talked about numerous times, has never finished a season with a record under 500. And Pittsburgh has to win both of their remaining games
or tie
to keep that streak alive. They could have a tie. They can't lose any of their remaining games, let's say.
You know what? I'm going to bet on a tie on Sunday night. I'm doing it. I'm betting on a tie.
All right.
I'm saying it
and
now.
And you always follow through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always follow through. If you make a fake bet on the show, you do always follow through. So I'll take your word. I'll take your word on that one.
Yeah, I just can't forget because sometimes I do forget. But I will. I will bet on a tie.
That's exciting.
The next matchup I wanted to talk about, we kind of talked about earlier, and that was Green Bay, Minnesota. This game, I am excited about. I think it's going to be a shootout.
I'm excited about it too. But you know why I'm excited about it?
Why?
I am predicting, boldly so, that after this week, Minnesota will be 11-1 in one-score games. I think they lose a close game. I think you're right about a high-scoring game. Green Bay still fighting for that playoff spot. Minnesota, not much to play for. Just kind of out there going through the motions. I think they lose a close one.
I like it. And I don't know if you knew this, but Green Bay is actually favored in the game. They're -3.
Now 3.5. Why is Minnesota... I mean, I know why I disrespect them. Why does everybody else disrespect them? They're constantly underdogs when they're freaking like 12-3. Like, I guess everyone else feels the same way I do. It makes me feel less crazy about hitting them.
See, I think the thing about Green Bay is they've been kind of on fire recently. Like they've been playing a lot better. The issue is Watson. I don't know how healthy he is. So I do think there's going to be a lot of points. And I think it's going to be a close game. So it just determines who's going to be the winner. We don't really know. That said, Minnesota 11-0 in close games. That's a good sign, those are playoff games. All the playoff games are going to be one-score games. So honestly, Minnesota's going to the Super Bowl. That's what we have to come to terms with. We just have to accept it. All right, Scotty, you have to.
You know what?
Embrace it.
I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to agree. The Vikings are the best team that I've ever seen. What they're doing this year is unheard of, unmatched, unrepeatable. They have to make a Super Bowl run to stamp this team into the Hall of Fame. Everyone has an immediate trip to the Hall of Fame after they win the Super Bowl.
Yep, Kirk Cousins Hall of Fame incoming.
Yep, with all of his chains and grills and hats and gizmos and gadgets.
He's trying to be the cool teacher.
Or like when your daughter has a sleepover and you try to pretend to be the cool dad in front of all the other friends. He's freaking
That's
weird,
what he's
man.
trying to be. He's trying to be the cool dad. He's trying to be Randy Marsh from South Park. That's what he's trying to do.
He's trying to be Russell Wilson.
He's trying to be yeah, that's true. That is true. He looked at Russell Wilson and was like, wow, that guy's so cool. I want to be just like him.
His TikTok must be so popular. I gotta do that.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. All right, well,
we tried to jinx him, and now we're making fun of him again.
We're making fun of him. Now he's gonna go win the Super Bowl. Really,
they're actually gonna win because we got bad karma. Fudge.
All right. Well, what is your last matchup, Scotty, or your second matchup?
Ooh, that is a good question. I had one marked as a favorite.
Do you need time?
Oh, I wanted to... No. I wanted to talk about the Buccaneers versus the Panthers playing for the NFC South, I believe, is the division.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, if Tampa Bay loses, they can still win next week and Carolina loses and then they get in. But
Correct.
Essentially this week.
Tampa Bay can win the division this week, can lock it up if they win. Carolina cannot, but I think I remember looking, and their Week 18 matchup is basically like it just looks like they would. Oh, they played the Saints, which they would be an underdog in. Okay, interesting.
Oh, really? Oh, weird.
Anyway,
I guess it depends how this week goes.
I'm excited to see what I imagine will be a lowish scoring chess match where two teams that are rivals. I just expect I expect a very well coached game without very many mistakes, and it's not necessarily fantasy exciting, but I like watching those kind of games where you just like, if somebody won that they earned it. They didn't like there was no luck involved. They really earned it. So I get excited to watch those kind of games, and not just because it'll help me settle a bet.
Fair. Awesome. Well, I agree. I think there's going to be chess match, a lot of running.
True. A lot of Leonard Fournette.
a lot of dump offs to Leonard Fournette, because that's as far as Brady can throw now. But the last matchup I wanted to talk about was, again, one we talked about earlier, but that is Buffalo versus Cincinnati. I think this game, again, will be a crazy high shootout. Is there any players we didn't talk about that you want to talk about, I guess?
We didn't technically talk about T. Higgins, but we made fun of his name.
Oh, yeah, and that was off. We did that in between.
Yeah, that was...
break, so.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
no,
I like his name.
You covered all the key players. You got Allen, you got Knox. I mean, Stephon Diggs has sort of been invisible the last couple weeks when it mattered the most for a lot of people. Sorry, Stephon Diggs owners.
Have you seen
who the
that
heck
post?
knows if he's going to show up this week? No.
He was dealing with an illness, and he posted finally using my culinary degree or something. And then he kept posting on Twitter it sucks to cook. You have to do all this prep and then eat and then clean all the dishes. It really sucks. And then a day later, it was he showed up with an illness on the injury report. And I don't think he gave himself food poisoning, but it would be really funny if he did.
That's the conspiracy I'm rolling with, because that's hilarious. Finally cooked yourself a meal and you got sick. Come on, pal.
Exactly.
And why would he be surprised about all the prep work and cleanup with cooking if he literally has a culinary degree?
That's what I don't understand.
He would have had to have experienced the turmoils of cooking many, many times.
I might have misread it. It might not be a culinary degree. It might be a culinary classes he took or something. But he definitely had culinary experience. Yeah, he should know.
Right. Does your relationship have that rule where whoever cooks, the other person does the dishes?
We actually typically cook for ourselves, just because of the way we eat, and also just how we the times we come home is staggered almost. We try to eat together, but we eat different stuff, so it's typically we'll just make our own stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy.
Okay.
I mean, no crazy cooking. Diggs.
So anyway,
yeah.
Jamar Chase is the big one. Burrow obviously has been ice cold.
Yeah.
Down the run here, down the stretch, he's been unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been killing. Iced out.
I don't expect big games from Mixon or P. Ryan if he gets in the mix. I expect it to be all wide receivers, tight end situation.
Yeah, I think so too. Do you think Caden Hurst might have a good game?
No.
Okay. Oh, wow.
I'm back. Did it blow up, Mike? Did I mess up?
No, just
nice.
It might have jump scared a couple of listeners.
Probably. And I guess it's a dart throw, trying to pick Isaiah McKenzie, Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs. I mean, yeah. I'm sure one of them has to have a good game because we're talking about a blowout.
Blowout.
The past couple.
You think? Oh, you mean
a high scoring game?
Yeah, shootout.
So I mean,
yeah.
Correct. That's what I meant. So someone's scoring those points for Buffalo. It's not just going to be Dawson Knox, Devin Singletary, maybe.
Yeah, maybe Singletary.
Does Devin Singletary keep his
But then,
touchdown streak
what about
alive?
James Cook? Like, it's hard. You don't want to play any of them, you know. So
Don't let him cook. Just let him.
yeah,
Let Stephon Diggs cook. And get them both
Nyheim
sick,
Hines maybe.
Nah. I don't think any of that's. That reminds me of the game at the carnival where you throw the dart at the board of balloons, but then all the prizes
spinning.
are small prizes.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. So you lose as
who's
soon
gonna
as you put money in, no, even if you win.
Who's gonna score for Buffalo?
I mean, I think Diggs could be a good bet this week. I think he could get a
You
bounce
think he'll
back.
finally show up?
Yeah, I think so. But then, yeah, Josh Allen could rush one in himself. You never know. So, I don't know. It's hard to say.
It is hard to say. It's weird.
Yeah. But I do agree with
Isn't
you.
it weird?
Yeah, it is weird.
We assume it'll be a high scoring game, but you can't pick any one player that you're confident will definitely score a touchdown.
I mean, it could be Gabriel Davis, I guess. I guess.
I'm hoping it's Devin Singletary.
Yeah, I think that's a fair bet.
He's been doing well for me down the end, and I think I need a touchdown out of him to get like at least like 10 to 12 points or something.
Yeah, hopefully you already have it locked up by then. But if not,
Oh Jesus!
I'm hoping for
Yeah, you're right.
Singletary
It is
touchdown.
Monday night. I would hope to have already won it by then.
Yeah, so you don't have to deal with that stress because I had to deal with that with Baker Mayfield that one week, and that was not fun.
I think my whole head of hair would turn gray
Oh yeah,
if I was
I'm sure it
behind
would.
and needed any amount of points from Singletary. Even if it was just like 5 points, I think
yeah.
I'd be nervous.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because he's hit or miss for sure.
Yeah, they have a committee essentially.
Oh man, I just got nervous thinking about
Oh no, don't.
God.
Okay, well, let's move on then. I guess.
Oh no. Oh no.
I guess it's time for the end of the episode, unless you have something for me, Scotty.
I do. Because as you know, we've been doing this thing, and it is time for Rule or Drool, where I read a rule which is either entirely made up BS rule or it is an unheard of, obscure, but totally real NFL rule. And you decide, is it a rule or is it a drool? Are you ready?
I'm ready, Scotty.
Okay. This week, the rule pertains to kickoffs.
Okay.
Have you ever seen an NFL level kicker run up for kickoff and completely whiff on the ball?
Maybe.
No, I'm actually asking. Have you ever seen it?
I think I have, but I forgot what happened.
I'm not talking about like, oh, the wind blew it over off the tee, so
Okay,
they
'cause
had
that's
to
what I
like
have
reset
seen, I
it.
think. I think
No,
they
I'm
whiffed
talking about
because it
straight
blew.
up. No, I'm talking about straight up. Ball stays on the tee, perfect conditions. The kicker just misses, doesn't hit the ball or the tee at all. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so.
Did you know that there is an NFL rule for just that? Do you want to know what it is?
I do.
All right. If an NFL kicker runs up for kickoff and completely whiffs, does not make contact, what would happen is all of the gunners who would assume he will make contact will run, resulting in a 5-yard false start where they reset and move the kickoff spot back 5 yards and replay the kick.
Huh.
Is that a rule or is that a drool?
You know, I don't know. I think this definitely feels like a rule, and I'm trying to think if you would bait me into thinking it is real because it seems like something that could happen. But at the same time, my instinct is telling me that it should be like a re-kick, like you get one attempt at a re-kick or something. And I think it would be similar to like the wind blowing it over. And I'm assuming because the NFL is like all like straight black and white rules, they kind of make the same rule for this that they would make for the wind blowing it over. So I'm going to say drool.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes.
We have a winner. I just made it up.
That was a good one. That was really tough.
All right. Do you want to know a fun fact about that rule or drool?
I do.
I literally just made that up as I was saying it. It was like that scene from The Office where he says, sometimes I just start a sentence and I have no idea where I'm going with it. I just keep talking and hope it eventually get to a point.
Do you want to know the funniest part about you saying that? Is I was going to make a joke that you telling that rule or drool felt like a Facebook post when they like do one of those like they anticipate it and they're just like holding the sign there for like 10 minutes. Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
Where they just like hold the sign there and they're just like anticipating it for like 10 minutes. And it's like, you don't know what's going to happen. And it's like, you either just click out because it's clearly staged or fake, or you like skip to the end just to see it. It felt like one of those.
I looked it up if there was a rule associated with like whiffing the kick.
Yeah.
Just because I did promise that I wouldn't like half cook a rule. It would either be a rule or it wouldn't be a rule. There'd be no like technicalities.
Yeah.
And there is no rule associated. Like, I don't know what would happen because I guess a kicker literally has never run up and just missed the ball before without the wind.
Yeah, without the wind or something. Interesting.
So once I knew there wasn't a rule, I was like, I don't know where I'm going with this. But then as I was saying it, I realized like if he whiffed, everyone else would also run. And then the false start idea popped into my head.
I mean, that was that was good because that's what I would normally assume would happen. But like I said, I feel like the rules are like black and white in the NFL. Like they'll make a stupid rule, like the wording has to be very specific just to cover all their cases, you know? So I feel like it would be black and white. Like the wind would also be the same as like if you just whiffed it. So
yeah, you're right. That's a good point.
But that was close. You almost got me there. You almost got me. That was close.
Dang.
All right. Well, Scotty, are you ready for your strong opinion of the day?
I don't know if I can handle it.
I don't know if you can, because I think that benching healthy players to give them a rest is stupid and it hurts them when they come back.